I was driving back from a family thing in Kansas, just past the border into Missouri, where the highway curves after a turnoff around Cleveland going to Freeman. It was past midnight, and as I picked up speed, my attention was drawn to the right side of the road. With my own eyes, I saw the biggest figure I had ever seen standing in a ditch. I drive a Hummer, and it has great headlights, but what I saw shook me to the core. It was no less than 4 solid feet across at the shoulders, and the head was covered in long hair. Not a cone, but it was round. As my headlights hit it, the figure dropped down to its belly in the ditch like it was dropping for cover. The mass of this thing was unbelievable. I drove past never thinking about stopping, and I couldn't believe my eyes, and for the next hour driving home, I replayed it in my head. Well, this weighed on me because I was never a believer in the Momo, Booger, Squatch, or whatever the kids call it these days. A week later, I went back to the spot where I had seen this thing, and when I pulled off the highway to look where it stood, I was shocked to see that, based on where it had been standing in the ditch, which was at least 4 feet deep, this thing was at least 8 feet tall. Now, if you skip forward to the winter, the kids and I went for a nature hike outside of Clinton, Missouri. It was the first nice day that winter, and we walked a good 3 miles that day. I took the camera for kid pics, and we got a little more than we anticipated. In the frozen ground, we found some deep barefoot tracks crossing the trail, and for the life of me, I could barely make a dent in that ground with my own boots. I'm talking tool shed whooping, if you know what I mean. I threw my bait out and caught a catfish and reeled it in. And then I heard something in the woods by the lake crashing and breaking branches. It scared me to all ends, but I had it in my head that I worked this damn land and I earned my R&R time. My thought was that when I was done on the boat, I'd go confront whoever was making their presence known. Unfortunately, we have a lot of poachers that come on the land, and it's nothing to have to run off a crackhead with shotguns on a weekly basis. When I threw the fish back in the water, the woods sounded like a tornado was crashing through. It was more intense than any poacher could have been, and that gut feeling I had only intensified. Of course, I didn't listen to it. I threw my bait out again, and the same thing happened, even louder than before, until finally a feeling of pure terror hit me. I couldn't see past the trees and the brush, but I was frozen in fear because I knew it was right above me.